My name is Charlene Lindemann, and I chose to do my Discourse community project on the science discourse community, but to be more specific, I chose microbiology. I had done my field work at a beverage manufacturing company, and I had interviewed the senior microbiologist Maria Padilla. She has been there for 6 years, so she's been working microbiologist for quite a while in this field of beverages, and she is responsible for testing the beverages as well as the surfaces, the water used, the air inside of the filler rooms to make sure everything's sterile and the product is safe for human consumption. So, I had learned from her that the most important piece of literature that she uses on a somewhat regular basis, as regular as it could be, is textbooks. So when she doesn't know the answer to something, say she sees something that she hasn't seen before under a microscope, or she finds out that the company wants to start using maybe a different apparatus to identify a different microbe, she will have to do a little bit of research to see what the best methods are, or if, say, there's something that she hasn't seen under a microscope, she needs to refer to her textbooks to find out what this is. And a lot of times she's given, either if she's not given a fact, if the textbook doesn't blatantly state what it is that she's looking for, doesn't solve her answer, then it at least gives her a really good idea of where to start or where to investigate, or maybe even to make an assumption, an educated guess. So what I was surprised to hear from her is that she does not rely on journals at all. So I feel like being a science student, I rely heavily on scientific journals, and I think a key part of that is being a student. So the schools stress the use of peer-reviewed journal articles. But as a working microbiologist, she felt that they were difficult to navigate, to find the information that she's looking for specifically. And a lot of it was new and late breaking information when sometimes you just need to go back to the basics. And I agree with that statement. And so I did learn from her. I learned to keep your textbooks. Keep your textbooks handy. Don't throw them away. Use them as reference books because you might need them, especially if that's going to be your field of study. I wouldn't throw away any of the textbooks in your field of study. I learned that to be part of this discourse community, it is essential for me to know the verbiage or the lingo. So because everything in microbiology has a really long name, it's important to know what the abbreviated names are so that everyone knows what you're talking about. E. coli is a common example. Most people don't know that it's called Escherichia coli, strain 1584, but things like that, or the different type of plates used. There's PDA, there's LYM media, and so different medias grow different things, and again, everything's abbreviated because the names are really long, so that's important to know the lingo. And these textbooks will help with that because they define everything that's part of that discourse or part of that subject. So something else that I learned that was really important is that in the microbiology discourse community, everything is based on facts. And I'm sure this could go for the sciences in general, but in microbiology, everything is based on facts, so you can't really have your own opinion on something without knowing the facts first. So you get your facts based on these textbooks, and then when you are presented with an unknown, you can draw conclusions based on those facts. So I did like that because I personally don't like it when things are too subjective because it's hard to come to a straight answer. It's hard to grade things that way. It's hard to agree on answers, but when something's a clear fact, then it makes it easier to agree or find an answer or solution. Something that I would still like to know after doing this discourse community is I would like to know other microbiologists' perspectives, specifically around peer-reviewed journals. I'm wondering if maybe because Maria has a very set role in her work, so she knows exactly what she's responsible for every day. She only tests generally the same kinds of substances in a day, all beverages, so it's all going to be fruits, veggies, sugars, things like that she tests. Um, I wonder if there are other microbiological careers that do rely on peer-reviewed journals. As I mentioned earlier, as a student, peer-reviewed journals are highly valued and stressed upon. So since they don't rely on that, I'm wondering if that's maybe just at this one laboratory inside of this beverage manufacturing company, or if it's in other laboratories as well. So I would like, if I had more time, I would have liked to have gone to other laboratories as well and kind of saw how they operated, if it was the same way or different. Um, I would say overall, what I learned is to keep your textbooks, and when you are not a CBU student, unlike your peer-reviewed journals that we have access to now, you will still have your textbooks and still have access to them. So definitely hang on to them for future reference. You may need it.